Lobbycast. I like that.
We're recording in a van down by the river.
I will probably edit that out.
Yeah, well, with me constant have fun.
Quote Brad Pitt, what is in the box?
Am I the only one that's impressed that Brendan Fraser still gets work?
Hello and welcome everybody to the Lobbycast. This is episode 358 and January 7th?
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, it is January 7th. And The Force Awakens is still going nuts.
Yes, it is.
It is, as we predicted, now number one in the domestic box office as of Wednesday.
Indeed. Yesterday.
And so good for them. And it's on track to take over worldwide sales also, because I think, what do we just say? Day after tomorrow, it's opening in China.
Yes, which that's such a huge market. I can't imagine that's not going to instantly boost it into the stratosphere.
And it's a market that's really gone heavily into pop culture and entertainment.
True.
Here in the recent years. So that is definitely going to kick up the numbers a bit.
Yes.
Well, let's go ahead, unless you have any musings or otherwise. So go ahead and get into the news.
Let's launch right into the news.
All right, no musings today. Erin, please. News.
A few little things that I have. I saw a great promo, I think on IGN, for a new game called Perception. It is from Bill Garner, who was one of the lead creators of BioShock. So it's a really interesting premise. I highly recommend that you look it up. It's about someone using echolocation to find their way through a rather badly haunted mansion, and it looks like it's very creative and very spooky.
Cool. That sounds cool.
It looks very cool, and it comes from a good team, so it's hopefully interesting.
Yeah, that's why I never harsh on anyone for saying they've never seen any Star Wars movies, because I haven't played any of the BioShock games. So, I played the demo for the first one and enjoyed it immensely.
Just never got around to the actual game.
It was a timing thing.
Okay.
With the release of the game. Same thing with Rise of the Tomb Raider. I hear it's an amazing game. It should not have come out the same day as Fallout 4.
No, nothing should have come out the same day as Fallout 4, because so many of us chose Fallout 4, but what do you do?
Yeah, well, there were seven AAA titles that came out within 4 weeks.
Right.
So.
And I'll be honest, it's not like I don't want to play the other ones. It's just that I only have enough time to prioritize with a certain number of things. And Fallout 4 is kind of top of the list.
It is the thing.
But hopefully that'll be something interesting. Comes from good folks. Another kind of online video game news, I guess. Valve just released something yesterday, I believe, saying that they're planning to permanently ban all match fixers from Counter-Strike. They're not really messing around with that anymore. So
good.
Yeah, I thought
cheaters should be discouraged.
Yes, they should be, and I think a permanent ban would be a pretty good discouragement. So, good for the folks over there. In other, Star Wars news, more of a merchandise point rather than movie point. But the good folks over at Hasbro, after a huge uproar, have finally decided to include Rey in the Monopoly. They have Star Wars Monopoly.
That was so stupid.
And I cannot figure out
why. They put in Darth Vader and not Rey.
They put in, because they had Han Solo, Finn, Kylo Ren, and Darth Vader, who's not even in the movie.
His melted helmet makes a brief appearance.
A cameo. I would say it's a cameo. A very brief cameo, to quote the Great Muppet Caper. And so that was
so
ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yeah. And they just...
I read that and I was like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, I don't understand. And they said, we just didn't understand how important she was going to be in the film. And we're all saying, really? The woman that completely dominated the previews,
what,
the
they
posters?
Didn't have any interaction with the people studio.
Most people are calling BS on that
Yeah.
statement and just saying, it just they wind up looking like
Because-
a bunch of misogynistic douche pickles is really kind of what it is. So,
Well, and here's my thing. How did Disney allow that to happen?
yeah, I don't know how.
Disney is a company built on primarily female lead characters.
You would think that Disney would have been a little more on the ball. Exactly. So I think that several screw-ups had to happen on several levels in order for, and some active misogyny probably in order for that to happen. But apparently it's being corrected.
Good.
So there's that.
Good for them.
Yeah. They're stepping up and correcting it. And in the slightly depressing, to my mind, front, Netflix just released a statement saying that Adam Sandler's The Ridiculous Six is their most watched movie.
Yeah, how is that? I pass over it every single time. I'm like look at the cast and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, so many people that annoy me in one area. Why would I do that to myself for even 5 minutes? And yet, I guess some people disagree with me. So there's that.
I haven't enjoyed an Adam Sandler movie in a very long time.
Yeah, Will and I were just having a conversation the other day that we were a little baffled that he was still getting work, actually. I've enjoyed some of his earlier work, I guess.
I'm more likely to go see a Will Ferrell movie than
An
Adam
Adam
Sandler.
movie, and I'm not very likely to go see a Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I don't know.
For him?
I liked Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, but those are pretty much the only ones.
Saturday Night Live when he was kept on a leash and in short doses. I think that was the key for me.
Yeah.
I think it really truly was. I think when he was part of a good ensemble, I enjoyed what he was doing.
Yeah.
I can't handle him for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Wait, are we talking about Will Ferrell or Adam Sandler? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But those are the main bits of news that I had.
Okay. Well, I had, as we said, Star Wars Force Awakens #1 domestic box office after 20 days. Good for them.
Yes.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. Oh, I lied. I do have a musing.
Okay.
It'll be brief, I promise.
It doesn't have to be.
Well, it's something.
I should have worn my Fallout shirt today.
You probably should have. We could have matched.
Yeah.
Would have been really cute.
I have the
the
Jesus one.
The Life Giver perk one.
The Life Giver.
Nah.
You have nerd rage.
Yep. And nerd knowledge, apparently, if I can bust that out with that descriptor. It's something that you and I talked about briefly last night. It was somebody published something on Imgur, and I wish I knew who to call.
Oh, right.
I don't. I'm really sorry. With something that I hadn't thought of. Jeff said he hadn't either, but they were talking about Kylo Ren and his wound, which we had discussed briefly last week. But they pointed out that Chewie was the one that shot him, which on a clinical level I knew, but they also pointed out that Chewie basically had to have been like Kylo Ren's uncle.
Yeah.
If he's Han Solo's best friend, he was probably the equivalent of this kid's hairy uncle and probably a godfather sort of figure. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And yet he was the person that wound up shooting him after.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Spoilers. Sorry. Sort of, a little. You know what? If you haven't seen it yet, why not? You've had.
If
time.
you have not seen Star Wars Force Awakens right now, you are part of the problem and not the solution.
This guy works 55 hours a week. My husband has averaged 75 in the last month, and he has seen it. Plus going in on his days off, and he's taken time to see it. So if you haven't, you're running out of excuses.
Yeah. Seriously.
Just saying.
It's awesome. And people are still complaining about the movie online. I still don't get it. Yes, it is a complete piece of fan service. And it had to be. It
had to be after the complete non-fan service that happened with stories 1, 2, and 3. They had some making up to do.
Yeah, they really did.
They really did. People had to like this movie.
Yeah, I mean, because, and yes, J.J. Abrams, you can tell he's a fan. He did a great job with the movie.
Yeah.
It hits a lot of the same notes as the original Star Wars, but it's supposed to.
It's supposed to, exactly.
It's the new hero, and guess what? The new hero, she's a badass.
She really is.
She doesn't whine about trying to go get power converters.
It's true, which makes her even more awesome in my mind.
He's not she's not a whiny little wimp like Anakin and Luke were.
Yeah,
So hit the same notes and have a stronger lead.
it's pretty awesome.
It's great.
What is
It's
there to
supposed to
complain
hit the
about?
same emotional notes because it is a true successor to the original trilogy.
It really is. And I don't care, there's people that are making, I think, some good-natured fun of the movie. Like there's the Lonely Luke, Twitter feed out there, and the emo Kylo Ren Twitter feed. But those seem more good-natured to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, they really do. But people with the stronger complaints, I just don't understand. So, but anyway, yeah, we were talking about the Chewbacca connection thing and saying, I really hadn't thought of that. It kind of makes that scene even more psychologically devastating, actually.
Yeah.
Might also contribute to why Chewbacca didn't take Leia when he walked by her at the end of the movie, like we discussed last week.
Yeah, I was listening to Fat Man on Batman and Mark Bernardin's. He's Kevin Smith's co-host on that one. He brought that up too.
Oh, interesting.
And they started talking about it, and it was funny. They were doing Leia's like, I'm a general now. You go poop in the yard. So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't understand the complaints. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I thought it was really well done. J.J. Abrams has a real knack for like catering to the fans, and it wasn't done in I don't know. I thought it was done in a very loving way.
Absolutely.
And not just placating.
Exactly. I think that's a very good way to put it. It wasn't just placating. It was a good story.
Right. Like, here, take this. Enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the originals.
Yeah, and like I said last week, a friend of mine summed up The Force Awakens by saying it was an apology letter for 1, 2, and 3, and a love note to 4, 5, and 6. And I think that's a great summary. Yeah,
and like I was saying earlier, it needed to do this because they're not just selling this one movie.
No,
they're selling 8 and 9, and they're also selling expanded universe movies.
Yeah, the independent spinoff. So people had to like this one.
Right. Yeah, so I think it's great.
I do too. So,
and another movie that's doing really well, and I haven't seen it yet, but I plan on seeing it, is Creed, which is also a complete fan service movie.
Okay.
Because it's Apollo Creed's son,
right,
kind of being trained by Rocky, and it does. From what I understand, it does a lot of the same things. He's trying to impress a girl. He loses a big fight, and he comes back and trains harder and gets better. It's the Rocky formula, and I don't hear the same complaints about it. What I hear is Oscar contention for that one.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how people feel about it in the long run, and after more movies come out.
Yeah. So anyway. Moving on from there.
Side note.
Yeah, the musings I think are complete, at least for the moment.
Yes.
Some other news: Daredevil season 2 its release date has been announced. So get your binging engines going. March 18th is when you're going to get the next bit of Daredevil, and I'm really looking forward to this. I loved the first season, and as I was telling Erin before the show, I thought Jessica Jones was actually better, but I'm still looking forward to seeing what they do with this season 2.
Cool.
The Marvel television universe is going to be pretty great, and I think it'll be pretty important as far as television goes, as far as influencing how stories are told going in. Because it really is well done. And they've got in Daredevil, they introduced the night nurse, Rosario Dawson. And in Jessica Jones, they introduced Luke Cage. Luke Cage is getting his own series,
Okay.
and Luke Cage and Rosario and the Night Nurse eventually end up together. So Rosario Dawson was in Daredevil. She was in Jessica Jones.
Okay.
And, she's going to be a main component of Luke Cage. So good for her.
True.
This all takes place in Hell's Kitchen, like all three stories. So I imagine that there's going to be some crossover in there as well.
Well, they usually with Marvel Universe.
Yeah. They don't have much crossover with the movies. They have mentions, like minor mentions.
Yeah.
Like they mentioned the incident, which is the alien invasion of New York.
Right.
Like you'd think that they'd have more to say about it, but they don't.
But they don't. So they kind of focus on their own thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting, but the TV shows very dark and gritty, and I love them for it. I think it's much better than the bright colors of the cinematic universe. So
Cool.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Other than that, there's some video game news. There's an Xbox update, a system update. Pretty minor. It's fixing things in the background. My phone is going off because I did not mute my phone. Lo siento.
That was him, not me.
Yeah. All right, sorry. This is excellent radio right now.
Just watching him fix his phone.
Okay, my ringer is now turned off.
Yay! Cool. You were saying
Just behind the scene fixes. They didn't really say what it was. It's just functionality, just streamlining
patches. Yeah.
things faster,
Cool.
things working better. Along with that, quite a few of the backwards compatible games from Xbox 360 received performance updates. So those that were having some issues are actually working better now.
Excellent.
And then on the PlayStation end, PlayStation Now, which is their streaming video game service, has added 40 more exclusive titles, bringing their exclusives to over 100 and their total number of games on that service to over 300.
Nice.
Kind of funny story that my ringing phone reminded me of is Kristen.
Way to tie it in there.
Yeah. Kristen recently moved into the larger bedroom in the house, the one that's the same size as mine. And so she got her TV back from a friend who was borrowing it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, me being the practical guy I am, I bought her a Roku so she could watch Netflix and Hulu and Plex and all those things in her room on her TV. And I was in her room the other night setting up her Blu-ray player. And I was hooking up and I saw a network cable spot on the back of the TV. And I was like, oh no. And sure enough, I go into the menu on the TV, and on its own, it does, network media player, Netflix, Hulu Plus, Amazon.
Wow.
It's like all the things I bought her the Roku for. The TV does on its own, but she didn't know that.
There you go.
Roku does, or the Roku does it better, I guess, but still.
Well, now you have an extra Roku for your next roommate.
No, she's gonna keep it. She's gonna use it.
Okay.
So it was just kind of funny. We now have 3 Rokus in the house: a 2, a 3, and the Roku stick.
I mean, you had a bunch of them floating around at this point, or you had to. So.
They get used constantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, love the Roku devices. Mostly because it does such a good job with Plex. Very strange because the Roku version of Plex is actually much better than the Xbox One version of Plex.
Interesting.
You can go on the Roku version. You can go into TV shows, and there's an unwatched folder, and it brings up all the TV shows that you still need to watch, rather than
Okay.
having to browse through TV shows and finding unwatched episodes. It brings up all your unwatched episodes across all the shows,
Oh, okay.
and that's much nicer. It's much more convenient. It's like, okay, what haven't I watched? It's like, okay, I'll watch this instead of browsing through the full breadth of your TV library. So I think that's about it for news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
We're now informed.
You're now informed.
For
And
this
now you get to be informed of what we've been doing. It's time for the Weekly Whatchas. Erin, what you listening to?
This week is still kind of hitting, some darkness and some dream theater. I've also been listening to IGN a lot. Hit a few cracked podcasts. Just, because the more you know.
Knowing is half the battle.
It is.
Also, G.I. Joe.
Way to mix the rainbows and the G.I. Joe there.
Yeah,
Like as you do.
as you do.
And also been listening to a fair bit of stand-up comic Reginald D. Hunter. If you have not
I've not heard of him.
heard of it,
Maybe I would recognize him.
you might. If you haven't looked him up, just look up Reginald D. Hunter, I Speak Irish, and start from there. You won't be disappointed.
All right, sounds good.
Listenings.
All right, this week, probably just Gamer Tag Radio and Fat Man on Batman and Shuffle All.
Yeah, a little bit of Shuffle All. There's always some Shuffle All.
Yeah, I did not finish listening to my New Order album. My New Order album. And yeah, I haven't listened to much music outside of Shuffle.
That's okay.
I need to retune that. My Shuffle is like a thumb drive.
Mm-hmm.
Plugs into my stereo in my car. And I need to change up the music because I am finding myself skipping quite a bit.
Yeah. Time for a little refresher.
Yeah, a refresher and something new and completely different.
Exactly, as Monty Python would say.
Right.
All right, watching.
What you watching?
I watched a movie called What If.
Okay.
With Daniel Radcliffe. Tuned into it because of Daniel Radcliffe, because normally I wouldn't say it's a romantic comedy. Kind of a romantic drama, maybe?
Sure.
Some dramedy.
Dramedy.
Normally I don't tune into those, but loves me some Daniel Radcliffe, so I gave it a spin. It wasn't bad, and strangely enough had I don't remember his name. He plays Mr. Ren, as that we were discussing earlier, Kylo Ren and
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, thank you. In a minor.
Jeez, where did I pull that out of?
I don't know. But good for you. Normally, I'm the one with the savant skills. Thanks for stepping in. And
I made it seem so effortless.
You did. It was rather effortless. I'm impressed. Good for you. Good for you. Also, a little bit of outrageous acts of science and catching up on Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yep.
Because you gotta love that. Gotta love some Ashley J. Williams.
It's funny. I'm glad you reminded me of that because I had forgotten that I had gone in and watched a couple extra episodes of that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which should lead to your what you're watching.
That's right. I watched episodes 3 and 4 of Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Nice.
I watched, I think, one episode of The Flash. Went back and watched some Family Guy. Some ones I had missed because I just randomly hadn't watched episodes from this current season. I hadn't watched episodes 1, 2, or 6, 7, and 8.
That's very specific.
Yeah. It's odd. Usually because I'll just have them on because it's those 20-minute shows are really good for whenever you're eating.
Yeah. Or
you're eating, turn it on, and then you're gone once you're done eating. Yeah. I watched another episode of Making a Murderer.
Oh, okay. And you said last week you were liking that.
Yeah, like it a lot. And that reminds me. I did listen to another episode of Serial.
Okay.
So
Cool.
right.
As an
Other than that, I don't think I watched any movies this week, which is odd.
Just get caught up on your TV.
Oh, you know what? I did watch a movie. We watched, Chris and I watched Captain America Winter Soldier,
That's always a good one.
which
That's
is my second favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, I like the Captain America movies, and I really like the Winter Soldier. So that's a good rewatch. The highway battle sequence just never ever gets old for me.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Do you know what my most favorite Marvel movie is?
Which is what?
Ant-Man.
I haven't seen that yet, and
It's pretty great.
I've heard it's fantastic, and I've met one of the guys that's in it, so I really need to
that's cool.
get off my butt and watch it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Captain America Civil War.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
And let's be honest, I'm kind of pulling for the Captain and Bucky already, just after seeing
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yep.
Iron Man's cool.
And Falcon.
He's Tony Stark. Come on.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah, it's pretty great. Oh, that reminds me of another little bit of news that I heard. The guy who directed Creed is in discussions to direct the Black Panther movie.
Oh, that's
the
interesting.
Black Panther standalone movie. And from what I understand, in Civil War, Black Panther never actually chooses a side between the pro-government and pro-privacy groups.
Okay.
Yeah. So
another spinoff maybe happening there.
Yeah. I think Black Panther's a 2018. They've got a lot of movies coming out between DC and Marvel.
There's so many of them.
A lot of movies coming out.
Yeah.
And yay for us.
Yes.
Yay for geek culture, because lots of Star Wars, probably some Star Trek, lots of Marvel, lots of DC.
It's a big thing now, so there's no shortage of
it's a good time to be a nerd
in the movies. It really is. It really is.
Great time to be a nerd. So yeah, I think that's about it it was kind of a light watching week for me, and I don't know why. Been busy.
Yeah.
Busy being
Life
busy.
happens.
Yeah, and we've been recording on Saturdays, and it's a Thursday, so it cut into our week also.
It did. We don't have as much to talk about. So.
Yep. All right, let's get to what you playing.
Everybody already knows the answer to that. I've been playing Fallout 4, and just to shake things up a little bit this week, I played Quiz Up a few times.
Wow, you wild woman.
I know.
Yeah.
Really branching out there.
Anything exciting that happened in the wasteland?
Other than the glowing alpha Deathclaw that I ran into without power armor.
Oh, but you'd run into them last week, didn't you?
Yeah, that was last week. So, I am still trucking around the wasteland with strong popping raiders' heads like zits and kind of enjoying it.
Nice.
So that's about it.
Nice. I've been going really heavily into luck.
Okay.
And I love it.
Yeah, is it working?
Yeah, it really does.
Nice.
The mysterious stranger shows up pretty often.
See, that's
like
cool.
probably every 15 minutes or so.
Wow. Okay, that's a little bit more than what you got.
Yeah.
A little more consistent than what you got in past games.
Yeah, and I picked up some other luck perks that I really like. Kills and VATs have a chance to refill your AP meter.
Yeah, I saw that
critical hits and VATs have a chance to refill your AP meter.
I saw that one too. So
yeah.
It was working out consistently enough to be worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, this one's a heavy luck character, but I may do my next character even like nearly all luck focused.
Cool.
Yeah. Luck and melee weapons.
Yeah, I'm trying to beef up in the melee weapons too, because it's just fun.
Yeah, and the advice that I gave young Lewis when he's trying to go through with a punching character.
Oh, okay, that's bold.
Is just turn down the combat difficulty.
Yeah.
Make it easy.
You would
and
have
go back
to.
and go through and play the game how you want to play.
Yeah,
because the game is unforgiving.
It really is.
At normal, if you turn it down to easy, then you can experiment with ridiculous play styles.
Yeah, but I even at normal, I don't see how you could do that.
No,
I don't think you could do that because I have some pretty awesome.
Somebody's beating the game without any kills.
Again, you'd have to have it turned down, and you'd have to really be doing things a certain way. You'd have
because
to
your
tackle just the
companions'
storyline.
kills count as your kills.
So, and at that point, I don't even see how you're having fun unless it's just to say
that you've done it.
You did it. Of course, this is coming from the woman that beat Dishonored on the highest difficulty levels.
I still can't. You are on permanent record for having wasted so much of your time.
It's not right. It's just not right.
Yeah.
So I can't throw stones at those people at all. Something about Glass.
Did the second one ever come out?
I didn't care enough to find out.
Okay. Yeah.
I Dishonored had potential. I just didn't care for it.
Yeah.
And I know you didn't either. We've had that discussion, so we won't rehash it.
No,
today,
I think I played half an hour and I was like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. Blah.
And I played 2 worlds.
True story, folks. Anything else that you played?
No, there's nothing else I've played. There's a couple of things that are coming out this year that I'm really looking forward to. Unraveled should be first quarter, and that looked really interesting.
Yeah.
And Cuphead, if it will ever come out, it's an indie game, but it looks it's so good.
It's been on the horizon for a long time. Maybe
have you watched the video for it?
Yeah. I mean, it looks great. It's just kind of one of those. At this point, they're just.
I just want it.
I almost feel like they're kind of dangling a carrot at this point, so I kind of stopped paying attention a while.
I haven't played that style of game in such a long time, and that one just immediately captured my imagination.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be good if we can ever get it.
Yeah. If. Jordan and I tried to play. So I guess I did play a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay.
We tried to play, but we could never get in the same squad.
Yeah. They were denied.
I don't know what was going on. We both had open nats. We could see each other online. Just we couldn't invite each other to the squads.
The universe doesn't like us playing together on squads for anything. It's weird.
I don't know, but it upsets me that I opened my copy rather than just renting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun game, but I want to play with people I know.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, anyway.
Maybe the universe will give you a reprieve.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, it would.
I would love that. That'd be swell.
It would be swell. It would be so nice.
All right. Well, I think we're about done with this one, huh?
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up.
Cool. All right. Well, that's episode 358 in the books. And we will see you next week. Thank you for watching and listening. We appreciate you as always. And wait, let me give out the number because I don't remember it anymore. If you would like to call and leave us a voicemail, it's 512-522-9278. So it's 512-LBBYCST.
I see what you did.
Lobbycast with no vowels. Unless you count Y. Because it's and sometimes Y.
True.
Right. Well, and sometimes, this time, not a vowel.
No, not at all. So technically, no vowels.
No vowels. All right. We'll see you soon.
Good night, folks.
Bye.